Hi, hello, and welcome. Bondsman, James Bondsman here with a quick video presentation to help you understand how bail bonds and a bail bondsman can help you access your constitutional rights. Now, let's start with a principle that goes back even further than that. We call it the presumption of innocence. You've heard it before in the shows, innocent until proven guilty. Well, that concept can be traced way back through common law, as far back as 6th century Roman law. And it plays into our Bill of Rights amendments, our constitutional rights under those first 10 amendments. Let's talk about just 3 of them here real quickly. You've all heard of the 5th Amendment. Yes, usually we hear that, well, I have the right not to testify against myself, to incriminate myself in law. Well, that's the 5th Amendment, but there's more to it. The 5th Amendment, in part that we're focused on here, says no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. So there has to be a due process. That's the court systems that provide that due process of law to ensure, presumably, that justice will take place. Let's go to the 6th Amendment. In the 6th Amendment, it says, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial, and have the assistance of counsel for his defense. That's the Old English spelling. So you have the right to a trial, you have the right to assistance for your counsel, and you actually have the right to participate in your defense. Now, if you're in jail, you can't really help to prepare for your trial. And if you're in jail, you're probably going to have another problem. Let's go to the 8th Amendment. This is perhaps the most important when it comes to bail bonds. In part, it says excessive bail bonds shall not be required, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. So now if someone's accused, they're innocent till proven guilty. If you just lock them up and throw away the key, well, now that could be cruel and unusual punishment, wouldn't you say? Perhaps for a small crime that is they didn't even commit. They could lose their jobs. They could lose perhaps their family, put their families and their children in danger. All cruel and unusual punishment. And if the bail is excessive, they can't come up with it, then that would keep them in jail, and that would cause a real problem to deny people of their rights. Let's talk about bail for just a second. Bail is security. It's usually a sum of money exchanged for the release of an arrested person. It's as a guarantee of that person's appearance for trial. If the bail amount's low enough, the accused can post it themselves, perhaps with the help of their family, and then the accused has an incentive to show up for court until the case is concluded. And so does the family if they help, because if they don't show up, they forfeit that bail. But at the time that the trial's concluded, either not guilty or guilty, the bail will be refunded to the accused or to the person that posted the bail. Now, what's the role of a bail bondsman? Very important role, okay? Because most people cannot afford bail. So what will the bail bondsman do? Well, he can post a bond. That's his business, to post bonds for accused clients. He then becomes surety. I should say he or she when it comes to bondsmen. They become surety. That is, that they assume responsibility for his or her client's appearance for all court proceedings. Now, generally, they want some help with that, and they, of course, want to get paid. We'll come to that in just a second. But generally, the bondsman requires a third-party cosigner or indemnitor or guarantor. You'll hear those lines. If you're calling a bondsman, they'll want to know who's the cosigner, right, or who's going to be the guarantor. Well, that's a person who additionally assumes responsibility for the defendant while they're out on bail, and they co-assume financial liability to guarantee the full bond amount. So that's the co-signer. But the whole system is really very beautiful because everybody gets something that's important here. The courts get, representing the people in the justice system, the courts get 3 people, not just one, promising that the defendant will appear in court. Well, of course, they get the defendant themselves. He has to promise that he will appear. They get the indemnitor or the co-signer promising also that the person will appear, and then they get the bondsman promising that the person will appear, and it's all backed up with a bail bond. What does the defendant get? Freedom. And believe me, when you're in jail, you want freedom as quickly as possible. You want out, okay? And that lasts at least till the conclusion of the trial. But it's also at a price that's far more affordable. Generally, the fee for a bail bondsman is 10% plus maybe a $20 to $50 administration fee. So it's far more affordable. Most people don't have the whole amount of a bond, whether it's $500, the bonds range between $500 and $1 million. They don't have the whole amount sitting around in a checking account, so a bondsman will do it for 10% plus the fee. So if anybody you know is incarcerated, call a bondsman that you can trust to help you access your rights. Call a bondsman who's in the area where the arrest occurred and where the person's incarcerated. If that's anywhere near Central Virginia, where we're located, call us. I'm James Bondsman for James Bondsman Bail Bonds. Call me 24/7 because you don't want anyone you care about to stay in jail 1 minute longer than absolutely necessary. I look forward to talking to you.